Hello and welcome to another epic edition of The Way I See It. Tonight, we're going to shift some gears tonight because I want to talk about something tonight. I'm dedicating my show tonight, The Way I See It, and tomorrow night and the rest of the week to a 3-year-old child whose life was taken by someone who I'm going to blast tonight on this program. Okay? His name was Aiden Lombardi. And if you're not familiar with the case, it happened a few years back in Coraopolis. Okay? Aiden was murdered by a guy named Tyler Mason. Today was the sentencing hearing for Tyler Mason. And Tyler Mason has been sentenced to 20 to 40 years in prison, or to life. Okay? He had a plea agreement. It was so bad that the female judge involved in the case had tears in her eyes. Okay? I have one thing to say tonight, and I'm going to start my blast segment off because I hadn't planned on it tonight, but I had a lot of things going on, and I sort of forgot about what happened until it was reminded to me earlier this evening. Okay? And that is this. Tyler Mason, your family and you ought to be ashamed of yourself for what you did to this kid and my friend's family is sad. Okay? My best friend, this is his daughter. It was his grandson that got murdered by this Tyler Mason guy. Okay? Today, the family was trying to apologize with a statement to the family. Didn't work. Because you know why? No matter what you say is not going to work for what your son did to this kid. And it affects me because I'm like family to this family. And you deal with my wrath, Tyler Mason. And my wrath is tonight because I'm blasting your family. And I'm blasting you tonight for what you did to this kid. You should have never did this in the first place. If you couldn't handle the child, you should have said something. But instead you didn't. You decided that you were going to do it your way. And your way was to do it that way. Okay? So here we are. All right? A child in heaven, a family ruined, a mother who has issues because of this, and my best friend, his only grandson. Because of you, Tyler Mason, and your family, really, decides that they're going to make some kind of statement in court, like that's really going to do any good. And it didn't. Because this family doesn't, we're all Christians in this deal here. We all believe in Christ like I do. Okay? But I got to tell you, there is no forgiving here. Not with the family with this deal. Now, I made an attempt to have my best friend on tonight, but he had other obligations. And I'm trying to reach out to his daughter to see if she would be interested to come on and talk about it tonight here. All right, on The Way I See It, but neither are available. Okay? But I dedicate my show tonight to Aiden Lombardi, who's up in heaven with the Lord. Tyler Mason, your family should be ashamed of themselves raising a child like you. And you want to know what's interesting about this whole thing? The family said they never knew any of this was going on. You mean to tell me that you didn't know anything at all about what this kid was all about? And if you did nothing to solve the problem. Okay? So don't go crying to anybody about any kind of remorse because it's not going to work here and it's not going to work with this family. Okay? You took the life of a 3-year-old child, Tyler Mason. It's really sad. God works in mysterious ways, and he's going to work one. That's the way I see it tonight about Tyler Mason and his family. I am Ralph Williams. If you're a first-time watcher tonight, this is the way I see it. We're here live every single Monday night. YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. I'm sort of broken up myself because this kid was like family to me. This whole family is like family to me. We're all brothers and sisters and friends and family. That's why I'm kind of disturbed tonight about this, because it's sad that this even happened at all. If you know Tyler Mason's family and you're watching this program, you tell him and you tell his family that they ought to be ashamed of themselves. Okay? And Tyler Mason even tried to read something to the family and ask for forgiveness. Didn't work. It's not going to. I had other plans for the show tonight, but I changed them because of this. And I'm glad I did, because I needed to take this out on Tyler Mason and his family. And it's really sad that my best friend lost his grandchild. He just lost his aunt, and now he lost it, and he lost his grandchild 2 years ago. It's really sad. And his daughter lost her son. One thing that was great for her was her son. And now this whole family has to be, has to grieve because of Tyler Mason. It's the way I see it tonight. Tonight we have a lot to talk about, as we normally do. Blast segment coming up, brought to you by DJ Fun. DJ Fun is a DJ, does parties, weddings, and also does special functions, special events. If you ever need a DJ, call DJ Fun today, 412-545-4317. He's a sponsor of our Blast segment right now. All right, first I want to blast this Alfredo's restaurant in Scranton. Now, Alfredo's restaurant is where that server worked, and I don't know if anyone heard about this, but this woman received a $3,000 tip about a month or so ago, or a few months back. Okay, she got a $3,000 tip from a gentleman, and what had happened was the gentleman had gave her that tip. All right, and now Alfredo's restaurant, they want to sue this guy because supposedly it screwed up their whole accounting system. That's what Alfredo's is saying. I think, and if you ask my honest opinion, I believe that Alfredo's is just jealous because they are frustrated because this woman got this tip. Now, I don't know what Alfredo's is complaining about. They should have the publicity and enjoy it. But no, they don't want to enjoy it. They're not happy for their server. And tonight, we are going to talk about this laziness again. Okay? My life story tonight is going to talk about my trip to Sugar Creek and Berlin, Ohio. I spent a few days in Sugar Creek and I spent a few days in Berlin. My wife, my mother, and I. But we're going to get back to this. Okay? If I'm an employer and I have an employee that did something or had something like this happen to them, okay, I would be happy for them, for this employee. All right? But no, this guy is not happy for this employee. He doesn't even care that this employee had, okay, that this employee got this $3,000 tip. So now he wants to sue the man who gave her the tip. You know what? Shame on you. Why would you even do that? And I'm blasting you tonight from this Alfredo's restaurant in Scranton. Shame on you. That's the way I see it. Next. Giant Eagle. You know, Giant Eagle's eliminating plastic bags. They've been trying to do this, and they have. And they instituted this new thing where you got to have, you got to bring in bags. And you know my feelings on plastic bags, okay? But Giant Eagle started this even before the city of Pittsburgh even decided to start this. And I think this is wrong. They're charging 5 cents for plastic bags, all right? I keep saying to everybody who keeps telling me the future of our children, we need to start now with this. No, we don't. The future of our children, we need to start fixing this violence situation, getting these parents to be better parents for their kids, and get some role models and get them into some programs. That's what we need to do to stop this. And if these kids are going to cause problems, we need to put them in jail. Put the parents in jail too. Okay? Quit worrying about plastic bags. And Giant Eagle, you're the biggest culprit of the problem. You have all these people that use these plastic bags. You know, I know poor people out here that use these plastic bags for trash because they can't afford to buy trash bags. And the comment that Giant Eagle made, which I thought was wrong, well, go to the dollar store and buy trash bags for $1. But nobody should be subjected to that. Okay? Some single person, and I know some people who are poor, and they use these bags for their trash. What, you're angry because they didn't come in and buy your trash bags at your store? Okay? That's the way I see it tonight. Next, PNC Bank. Shame on you, PNC Bank. Let me tell you what's going on here. I don't know if you're aware. PNC Bank bought this apartment complex where, low-income housing people live. So they go and they put this management group in there who, as usual, just like the management group that runs my building here, the Housing Authority of the City of Pittsburgh, and yes, I'm bringing your name out because until you fix this building, that's what's going to happen, okay? So just like the Housing Authority of the City of Pittsburgh does with me in this building here, okay, they own it, but they don't want to own up to everything that's going on here. So now this management group here has decided that they don't give a crap about anything that goes on with what's in the building. Crime has gone up 50%. People are being terrorized, all this other nonsense. Now come to find out, the maintenance company they hired won't come and fix nothing. You got hanging wires from here. You got this there. You got that going on there. Okay? And this is owned by PNC Bank. They own this building. Okay? Now, all of a sudden, we're going to get a new management group in there. All of a sudden, we're going to hire a new maintenance contractor. Well, why didn't you hire the right one in the first place? And why didn't you listen to your tenants? It had to go to another extent. They went out and got a lawyer. They pitched in or went out and got a lawyer. I tried to get the lawyer on here tonight to talk about this, and maybe next week. I'm striking out tonight, but that's okay because we're going to talk. I have a lot to talk about tonight, including I want to understand something here about Kiski. Kiski area, we'll talk about that later on. Right now, let's get back to the blast. But that's why I'm blasting you tonight, PNC Bank, and that's the way I see it. Next, the Mayor Ed Gainey. Mayor, I know you're a busy man, okay? And I know I'm friends with you. And I know that too. But that doesn't excuse me from blasting you because you knew about this drug problem with these drug dealers downtown. You have done nothing to fix up downtown, to bring it right. We had all this stuff going on. We had all these activities going on. We have Point Park University down there. We have all these people that pay $4,000 a month for apartments that live down there, and they have to put up with people urinating in the street. They have to put up with people defecating in the street. They have to put up with these homeless people in tents that are pigs and drug dealers and pimps and whatever else is downtown now with this. And then you come up with the wall thing where you have all these drug dealers hanging out, and it took the news report of Andy Sheehan to come on and tell you what was going on. You mean to tell me you were so blindsided that you didn't see this? And now all of a sudden you want to walk around with Rich Fitzgerald and talk to the homeless. Okay? My advice to you, Mayor Gainey, is fix that problem, because you're obviously not fixing the housing authority problem either. Okay? And now I as a friend of yours is getting upset now because you're not doing anything about that either. All right? I think you need to seriously sit down and take a look at some priorities here. And one of them is that you need to do something about the housing authority of the city of Pittsburgh, and you need to do something about cleaning up downtown, because I don't care how many other neighborhoods you clean up. Downtown is the most important. It's the high point of the city. You need to clean that up first. Then you start cleaning up the other neighborhoods. And you can't clean them up because your police don't want to do their jobs. Okay? I've gone on about that for a long time. So, Mayor Gainey, yeah, I blasted you tonight. Okay? I blasted you because you need to do something. You need to get it done. That's the way I see it. Or this stuff would have never have happened if you would have got a grip on it. That's the way I see it tonight. Tonight's Blast segment is brought to you by DJ Fun. DJ Fun is a DJ that does parties, weddings, special events. Call DJ Fun today, 412-545-4317. Well over 15 years of experience in doing DJ work, and he's been doing it for a long time and a while, and he will not take you to the cleaners with the price. 412-545-4317. Bonehead. Now, our Bonehead segment brought to you by Robin Campbell Insurance, 412-366-3399. Call Robin today. Farmers Insurance, renters, life, fire, home, car, any kind of insurance needs, give Robin a call today. Our Bonehead, you know what? Believe it or not, well, see, I wasn't in town here for much of last week, and I couldn't really find too many boneheaded things that went on other than, a few, this. The man who fell off of a concrete wall down by the 62nd Street Bridge in Etna and fell into the river. What were you doing? Drinking? Were you drinking? Were you, high on something that you fell into the river? It's our boneheaded segment tonight here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. The way I see it, Ralph Williams here tonight. Very epic, very emotional show tonight. It's dedicated to Aiden Lombardi, who was murdered about 3 years ago by a gentleman named Tyler Mason. His sentence came down today, 20 to 40 years to life. Good for him. I'm glad he's going away. That's what you get, Tyler. And your family, I don't care what your family says. All right? You've done what you've done, and you're going to pay for it. And now the judge was even in tears. That's how bad this was. Okay? And I know if she could have, but she couldn't because of state law. Of course, state laws get into everything. We're going to talk a little bit about that tonight, too. All right? About this license plate stuff some more. We're going to talk some more about that. Talked a little bit about it last Monday. All right? And some more about the $3,000 that Dictator Wolf, as he finishes out his term, is trying to get everybody in Pennsylvania before he goes away. He already got the minimum wage handled. Now he wants to get this done. And I hope he does. I could use another $3,000. Be nice. But of course, the Republicans, they don't care. They're not going to bother with it. We'll talk later. All right. My life story. This past week, I left last Tuesday, and I came back last night, or yesterday. I went to Sugar Creek and Berlin, Ohio. Amish land. Very nice. And you know what was interesting? I was actually having a good week. It was quiet. The people were nice out there. The economy isn't bad out there. But they have the same problem, and that's, again, what we're going to talk about again tonight, laziness. Okay? They have to adjust hours at their businesses. They have to, you stay at any of the hotels out there, and they're all doing the same thing. And I don't know if this is a national trend or if it's just them. They're not providing the services that are in the brochure. I stayed at the Carlisle Inn in Sugar Creek, Ohio. Very nice area out there. You can breathe out there. And what was interesting was the people were so nice, it's like the Bible Belt. They'll do anything for you. Okay? Everything's made right there, homemade. They have cheese. I went to a cheese place. They make homemade cheese, homemade popcorn, right out of a big kettle corn. Okay? Horse and buggy rides, pony rides, all that stuff. Went to a couple places where they have crafts. Bought a couple things. I bought a belt there that was made right there. Some Amish person made that belt. I bought it. And I didn't pay nowhere near what I paid for something made in China. Okay? So it was a great trip until I went to the Speedway convenience store. Oh, yeah, believe it or not, there's a Speedway convenience. There's two of them out there. Stopped in. My wife went in to go get us something to drink, come out. And I was eating a banana, which I normally eat every morning. And before we got started to go on the road to where we were going, because there's all these villages between Berlin and Sugar Creek all over the place, okay? So that day we were going out to one of these villages to go check out this Amish stuff. I pull up to this garbage can, go to throw my banana peel in there, and the banana peel kind of drifted off of it, slid off, and went on the ground. And you're not going to believe this in a million years. I had to hear it. I had to hear it. It was terrible, but I had to hear it. The F-bomb! Some guy said that's effed up. Because I can't get out to throw away a banana peel. So I thought I'd toss it in the trash. I missed. It fell off, slid off the can there. You know how you go to a convenience store and they got this little can that slipped off the can. All right. Turns out the can, it slipped off the can, went on the ground, and he goes, well, that's effed up. You mean to tell me I had to hear the F-bomb? The F-bomb. Sad. And now I'm coming to find out, doing some investigating as I normally do when I'm out and about anyway, no matter where I go. I ran into a couple who was there and eating at the Dutch Valley restaurant that we ate at. Very good Amish cooking, by the way. Had a great time eating some of that great Amish homemade cooking. It was so nice. Okay. They close everything down on Sunday. You can't get anything. And the Amish and the people, they race to these grocery stores and they go get what they need to get. Now, there's no Giant Eagle there. There's no franchise there at all. No. These are places that make their cheese right in the store. They make their soups homemade right in the store. They carry name brands like Campbell's and whatever else. But most of the people, and the Amish included, you see them on their horse and buggy and on their bicycles going all around. Well, of course, it's an Amish area. Okay? Excuse me, I'm still recovering from my sinus cold that I had. All right? So anyway, it was a nice trip. But the thing that bothered me the most was the hotel could not provide me with the services on the brochure. I was looking for room service, which was offered at the one hotel I stayed at. Okay. All right. The Carlisle. It's in Sugar Creek. They couldn't do that. And the housekeeping, they were doing housekeeping for anyone who checks out, but that's it. So there was a tireless worker there. This woman, and I got to tell you, these people, they work hard, and they provide good service, the best that they can, because as usual, you can't get help. Okay, and it's not just here in Pittsburgh; it's everywhere. The whole country is affected by this laziness that I don't understand why. And here's the interesting part about all this, everybody. I asked this question months ago, and I haven't gotten one answer. Because what are you afraid of telling me? I don't give a rat's fart what you do with your time, your money, or your life. But I do care when capable people who are able to work, and there's 8,000 jobs out there or more, and nobody wants to work. And don't tell me because the unemployment rate is down here in Pittsburgh or in Pennsylvania as a whole, that doesn't affect the laziness. Yes, it does. Because businesses in this town have had to close. That have been open for years because nobody, not even the family, wants to work. How about Donatelli in Bloomfield? How about that? You know? I mean, I've been there with Russ Donatelli. I've seen that, yeah, he can be miserable when he needs to be. Okay? His own family won't even help him. What is going on here? Our younger generation, nobody seems to want to work at all. And then the ones that do want to work are so stupid that they don't know what to do. I went to a Burger King today, the one on the south side, which is, of course, something that I normally don't do. But my wife and I wanted to stop there and get something to drink. So I pull in. They didn't have any large cups. They had small only. Now, this place has been on the news many times. They have had issues with food. They've had issues with supply. They've had issues with all kinds of stuff. They had an issue with ownership. I mean, it's been a mess for the last 5 years with this Burger King, even before COVID. Now, that dining room's closed. No sign up says dining room closed. Sorry. Everybody had to get out of their car, go up into a locked door, and then get back in their car, and then tie up the drive-through. Okay? So we get there 6 times. And again, I'm going to reiterate, you want $15 an hour, these fast food workers. And I had to say 6 times that I wanted a Coke and a Coke Zero. 6 times. Okay? Then they bring the drinks out, or they, hand the drinks out, and it was an iced tea and a lemonade or something. I said Coke and Coke Zero. Now let me ask you this. Can you understand what I'm saying? Do you understand what I'm talking about? Is my voice not loud enough or capable enough for you to hear me? Do I have to speak in Swahili or some other kind of language? Because you obviously don't understand English at the Burger King on the south side. 6 times I had to tell you. Then I asked you which one it was because you didn't mark them. I don't know. So I said, screw this. We're done. All right. So I had to go, and I had to go somewhere else to go get drinks. Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's no problem. I was checking something out. But anyway, okay. I had to go somewhere else to go get a drink. So I went to Wendy's over in Shadyside. I had to go over and pick my mother up in Bloomfield. So we ordered our drinks, got the right ones. Now, listen to this one. I says, are these the appropriate drinks? Which one's the Coke Zero? Which one's the Coke? You know what that girl told me at Wendy's? I don't know. I don't know. Okay? I don't know. I don't know. All right. That tonight was the stuff that I had to go through today at Burger King on the south side. So I call corporate. In case you're not aware, my wife and I combined have 70 years of combined experience in customer service. We're both retired because we have disabilities. We cannot work. I would, unlike others out there. You know who you are. And it's a disgrace that I have to go to a hotel and I have to pay X amount of money to stay at this hotel, which wasn't cheap, of course. Okay? And I can't get the services that I deserve or that's on the brochure. Why? Because of laziness. Because nobody wants to work, and I don't understand why. And no one has given me any answers. What is it? Is it the employers lying to people? Is it, I've heard that. Okay. Is it that you were promised $15 an hour or $20 an hour, and instead of letting you work 6 or 8 hours, they're making you work 2 or 3 and telling you to go home? Is that what I've heard that too. Okay. Are you upset because is the employer acting like a big baby because the minimum wage went up for the servers? What? You don't want a server to make any money? You don't want an employee to be happy? Why? Because you're miserable because of COVID. But you had your opportunity to go after the governor, and you didn't. And now you're crying the blues because you're upset because of this. All right? And we live in this nothing society. We do nothing. We don't care about nothing. And nothing gets done. So we live in a nothing society, as I said, we have all year long. And that's the way it is. And that's the way I see it tonight, everybody. Because that's what's going on with this. And it was even in Sugar Creek and Berlin, Ohio. 2 nice towns. But getting back to this, I ran into a couple while I was at one of the restaurants. It's from Pittsburgh, Murraysville, Monroeville area, actually. Here's what they told me. Gas is 20 cents cheaper per gallon. Cost of living is low. They don't have to deal with the traffic going into the Parkway East. And the most important thing of them all, okay, they don't have to hear the F-bomb. I heard it once, but that was it. Everywhere you go, it's the F-bomb. Right in your face. It's the F-bomb. It's this, it's that. We can't sit and talk with one another. We have to use the MF bomb or the F bomb or I'm going to kill you bomb or whatever kind of bomb. Okay? This lady said that don't go on there. Her husband's sick. He had a stroke. You think he wants to put up with what goes on in this town? No. I don't blame him. She says they go to Pittsburgh once in a while for care because, you know, we have great hospitals here. The Amish told me that as well. One good thing I will say that the Amish told me that UPMC does is they work with them. And they said some of the medical centers around their area will not work with them. So UPMC is doing something right. Okay? All right? And here was the most important part of this whole conversation with these people as to why 2 years ago they moved out that way. Cost of living is low. That what they paid for their house, or what they pay on a mortgage or rent, is 50% cheaper than what it is here. Because Pittsburgh has turned into a New York. $4,000, $5,000 a month to live downtown. That's insane. Okay? And you're not bringing the big people here because downtown's a sloppy mess. They're all moving to the Strip District. The businesses are moving there because they don't want to pay these leases on these buildings, in these buildings. I hear real estate people crying all the time that have businesses that have real estate downtown. They can't get it sold, leased, or anything. Why do you think the people who owned the PPG Plaza building and the people who owned Oxford Center sold and got out and went back to Texas? Why do you think so? Okay. And now the city's pushing these companies to bring people downtown to fix the economy. You want to fix the economy downtown, get rid of the riffraff, get rid of the drug dealers, get rid of the pimps, get rid of all the people who defecate and piss and do everything downtown. Get rid of that first, then open up your downtown. Oh, come downtown. What, so I can get robbed? Come downtown. Why? So somebody can piss on me and laugh? Why? Come downtown. So someone can drop the F-bomb on me? Come downtown. Okay? Pittsburgh used to be the city with a small town mentality. Not anymore. At least that's the way I'm seeing it. And if you don't see what I'm seeing, then you must be blind. Because it is what it is. And you know what's interesting? Nobody wants to see this. And I'm bringing it to your attention tonight right here on The Way I See It with me, Ralph Williams. And I am Pittsburgh's forgotten son. Okay? Been here my whole life. Been here my whole life. And nobody knows who I am. But I'm everywhere. I'm everywhere. I'm like Action News. Okay? If everybody knew who I was, I would have more people watching my shows. Okay? There's people who do know who I am, but they're jealous of my success. That's too bad. But anyway, that's my life story tonight about Sugar Creek and Berlin, Ohio, and Sugar Creek, Ohio. And like I said, the sad part of this whole thing is that they're going through the same thing that is going on everywhere else. Nobody wants to work. And they got to cut their hours down. And you know what's funny? And nobody cares. And that's why this is a nothing, because nobody cares about anything. Nobody cares. You want to know what they don't care about? They don't care about the fact that there's limited resources. You can't just go out your door and go to a Giant Eagle. It's not there. They have some store. It's country living. You have to drive 5-10 miles or go on your horse and buggy to go get stuff. And it's not open on Sunday, and everything closes at 5 o'clock almost, except for maybe a couple restaurants. And they're barely holding on by a thread to close before that. And they can't help everybody because the place is too crowded all the time, and nothing gets done. Nobody cares. Nothing. It's that simple. So why is this laziness here? And don't tell me it's about unemployment. Unemployment's gone. It's gone. I don't want to work for Joe Biden. I'm waiting to see what Donnie's going to do. Donnie Trump. How dare you talk about him like that? Once again, and I'm going to say this once, and don't take this out of context, I respect Donald Trump. I don't like him as my president because he acts like a third grader instead of acting like a president. Do you understand what I'm saying? Okay? You make comments about women, make comments about disabled people, make comments about the White House. Oh, he says whatever he wants. That's why I like him. You like somebody that gets up in front of the American public and acts like a third grader. That's what you like. Okay? You like a guy that caused January 6th. You like that, right? There was a coup in our own country. This stuff goes on everywhere else. It's not supposed to go on here in America. But it did because of him. And now he's going to get off. Of course, because he's got good legal representation. And now he wants to run for president again in 2024. And we got all these people out here, instead of working with the president and trying to get this economy back up and running, you're sitting there playing Xbox, waiting for Donnie to come back. Oh, I'll go to work when Donald comes back. Yeah, but I won't work for Joe Biden. That's silly. And because of that attitude is why places like Sugar Creek, Ohio, and Berlin, Ohio are struggling to find workers. Because of you, the lazy person who doesn't want to work. I have never in my life ever seen such a lazy society. And then I'm told it's not society, it's just a lazy generation. And I blame the parents for this. We got 20 and 30-year-old people that just don't want to work. They don't. They blame the government. They blame there's not enough jobs out there. There's jobs out there. Go get them. And they're paying well, too, even in fast food. Why? I don't know with fast food. Because you're still getting the same ones. I don't know. Oh, I don't know how to work a cash register. I was at Kennywood for the Pierogi Fest. Didn't know how to work the cash register. I was at Acrisure Stadium for 2 Pitt games. The person didn't know how to work the cash register. Didn't even know how to count. Okay? And now I'm finding out that some employers are supposed to, are so desperate for help, they're not hiring anybody. They're not hiring people. Even if you committed the teeny little crime. You would rather sink your business than hire somebody for that little teeny weeny little crime. I spit on the sidewalk, got a citation, so you won't hire me now. That's what's going on out here. And the employers are part of the problem, not the solution. Okay? You need help, but you won't hire people. Okay? Maybe lift a little bit of the restrictions of your hiring practices so people can get a job. Okay? Somebody gets out of prison or something, they can't find a job. But you need somebody. You need somebody to wash dishes so you don't have to do it. So the manager can sit in the back office and not do anything. Okay? Yeah, the managers were bussing tables and doing dishes and cleaning toilets because they can't find people to do anything. And you know what's funny? They're paying well. They're paying $15, $20 an hour in some of these places. Nobody wants to work. Target's paying $18 an hour. There was a couple out there who have both had good jobs. They went to school, they got educations, they went to college. And they're working at a Target, and they're working so hard, and they're working a lot of overtime. And between the two of them, they made double what they made on their job that they're educated for. Good for them. At least they're not lazy. Acrisure Stadium. Can't find ushers. They had to call a contracting company in here. A contracted company. Back in the day, you couldn't get a job as an usher at Acrisure Stadium unless you knew somebody. You couldn't get a job with the city unless you knew somebody. You couldn't get a job with Port Authority unless you knew somebody. But those are the ones that are looking for them the most. And nobody wants to work. It's sad, it's disgusting, and it's shameful. It really is. It's bad. And you know what? It's going to take our country down because nobody cares. Because we live in a nothing society where nothing happens, nobody cares about anything. That's the way I see it tonight. Next. Oh, by the way, construction companies are, I can't find supplies. I can't find this. I can't find that. I've seen trucks going in and out of Ohio, the Sugar Creek, Ohio, and Berlin, Ohio, with lumber, with bricks. There's Amish companies there that have bricks and lumber. Where are you at? I can't get this because there's a supply shortage. They make furniture in the Amish country. Why don't you go buy it and sell it? Okay. Oh, I can't get this. The supply shortage. I can't get buns for hot dogs. They make buns. They're homemade right there in the bakery. Let's go get them. Why don't you go get lumber that's done by the Amish? Why don't you go get bricks? They got 2 brick factories. You need bricks to put up buildings too, right? Go get them. Okay? They're there. Go get them. No. You're going to sit there and complain. Oh, I can't do. You use everything imaginable as an excuse. And it's for real. Not really an excuse. But there are employers and businesses coming up with excuses because they were the ones who didn't want to fight when they had the chance to. Every business in this entire state could have pitched in $10. $10! And went out and got a Dick Thornburgh or somebody of that caliber to fight against this governor during COVID. He did nothing. You let Rachel Levine, you let Dictator Wolf, you let Deborah, what's her face from the Allegheny County Health Department, Bogan, run all over the place. I said this many times. If any one of them 3 people told you to jump off a bridge, would you? Yeah, you would. You would. Anyway, let's talk about Kiski. You know what I found out tonight? The Kiski's hired new officers and a new chief. But here's the thing that really bothers me, and this is, again, nobody wants to take any responsibility. Nobody wants to do anything. Nobody does nothing. Nothing. Okay? Nothing. And what I mean by nothing is this. You had a police chief and some police officers and a clerk that have been there for ever in 6 years, as I call it. They leave because of a supervisor. They quit. They walked out. Guess what? Nobody says, well, why did that supervisor do that? What caused this to happen? They just went and hired new people like it was nothing. See? Like it was nothing. Now, what am I missing here? I'm not missing anything because I'm right. Okay? Why wasn't there anything said about this supervisor and what he was doing to make what I call, again, a hostile work environment? Same thing in Braddock. And that guy still works there. What am I missing? What? You don't want to take responsibility. That's just like if you make a child and you don't want to take responsibility. That's like this building here, the Housing Authority of the City of Pittsburgh. They don't want to take any responsibility for anything but their names on the building. PNC Bank, as I mentioned earlier, with the apartment or the complex in the housing complex in McKeesport that they bought. They don't want to take responsibility. Nobody wants to take responsibility. And it's all about laziness too. Okay? That's all part of a bracket of laziness. You know, like any kind of bracket. You have a sports bracket. You have a bracket where, you know, they have these pyramid scheme brackets. You have brackets for this, brackets for that. But this is called my laziness bracket. It's a bracket where it's a different kind of laziness, but it's falls into the same bracket. And here we are. Kiski area didn't want to do anything at all about this supervisor. So they just go out and hire new people. Just go out and hire new people. Who, you know, it's Braddock. Who cares? That makes me sick. What, you don't care about your employees? About a supervisor who's acting like a degenerate or an idiot or something? You don't care? That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying tonight here on The Way I See It. It's all about laziness again. And I've brought up many different points of the bracket about laziness. And this is part of it. No responsibility either. Nobody wants to take responsibility for anything. The IRS, they don't want to admit when they're wrong. The welfare department, they don't want to admit when they're wrong. Housing authority of the city of Pittsburgh, they don't want to take responsibility or they don't want to admit that they're wrong. Nobody wants to admit that they're wrong. But tomorrow night, watch Sports Corner, because guess what? I have to admit, I was wrong about a few things. If you watch Sports Corner tomorrow night, 8 p.m., right here on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch, and my special guest, Claudio Rosano, baseball coach at Carnegie Mellon University, author, and Global Scout. We're going to talk about the Steelers and the Pitt Panther football teams tomorrow, and a lot more tomorrow. Everybody in the division of the AFC North all lost yesterday. Would have been nice if the Steelers would have won, and I could have sit there and went, yeah. But no, I'm not laughing right now because everybody lost, including the Steelers. I'm not laughing right now because it's not funny. Tomorrow, we're going to talk about that, myself and Claudia. And I will admit I'm wrong. When I'm right, I tell you I'm right. When I'm wrong, I'll admit it. I wasn't wrong about anything I've said tonight because it's a fact. It's a fact that you, as a lazy person, or you as someone who is just blindsided by it, or you live like a hermit and you just don't care. And that's why this country is the way it is. Because of you. All right. I talked about Kiski. Oh, let's talk about this wall thing that I blasted the mayor about earlier tonight. How could Lee Schmidt, the public safety director, city council, and the mayor let this happen? Well, it started out by the homeless. It started out with the homeless invading downtown. Tents everywhere. Okay? They got a little substation down there. I never seen anybody in it. That's downtown there. It was supposed to be a collaborative effort, the state police, county police, Port Authority police, and city police. I don't see no police. We're supposed to have mounted horses that we just got donated. Where are those? I don't even see the bicycle cops down there anymore. And the traffic division, forget about it. And I had to blast Ed Gainey tonight, despite the fact that he's my friend, because I'm not happy with what's going on right now. I've brought this stuff to his attention about the housing authority of the city of Pittsburgh many times, and he ignores me. Okay? Nobody wants to take any responsibility for anything, and nobody cares, and there's nothing. Nothing boils down to also not caring to take any responsibility. That's nothing. Laziness as well. Some more topics. Talk about Dictator Wolf, once again, as I mentioned earlier, trying to push the legislation for this $3,000 per PA resident before he gets out. He's going to use some of the money from the rescue fund. We have to use this money by 2024, and from what money we have left over right now, it's not going to work. So some of it's got to go to the people. But the Republicans don't want to vote on it. He still can't get it pushed through. But he's still trying. I'll give him credit for that. Anytime I get money from the government, I give him credit for that. And you know who else I forgot to blast tonight? Chuck Schumer. You know who Chuck Schumer is? He's the Democratic leader from New York. I think he's the minority leader, minority whip, or whatever he is for our government. It's a senator from New York or a congressman or whatever. Guess what he wants to do again? Send more money to Ukraine. We have homeless people here. We have people hungry. We have an inflation that's a problem, and we're worried about Ukraine. Really? Ukraine, according to all these businesses, according to the gas companies, according to this person, according to that person, is the reason why our country's the way it is, because of Ukraine. We can't get wheat because of Ukraine. Gas prices go up because of Ukraine. We can't get leather. We can't get this. The supply chain's messed up because of Ukraine. We're going to continue to give them billions and billions of dollars to fight Russia. Oh my. This is the very first time I had an issue with something like this. One time I could see giving them $1 billion. But I'm talking about 4 different times that I found out and I heard that the government's giving billions. And I'm not talking about just $1 billion. I'm talking about $300 billion to Ukraine. That's the way I see it tonight. Next, John Taffer, my man, host of Bar Rescue, working on getting him on the show. He does that Bar Rescue show on Paramount. Well, he's opening up a series of Taffer Taverns all across the country. Very first time that he's ever opened up any bar that he owns with his name on it. Some of his bars he does have other names on them, like, I don't know, who knows, Harry's Bar, whatever. Okay, but John is, it's good to hear that, from John. John's a good guy, does a lot for bars. Haven't seen him here in Pittsburgh yet. I guess these bar people, I guess they're smart enough for their kitchen in dirty. They're not losing any money. So I guess they're doing okay, because I haven't seen any bar rescues coming from Pittsburgh. Philly, yeah. Pittsburgh, nah. Next, Brittany Griner, his wife, is very frustrated about President Biden's movement on getting her out of Russia. First of all, I have nothing against Brittany Griner. I wish her well. I hope she comes back. I really do. I wish our country would just send SEAL Team 6 in to go find her, go get her. We have all this intelligence. We have all these drones. We have all these different ways. Israel's real good. Why can't Israel step up and help us out with some intelligence? And find Brittany Griner, send SEAL Team 6 in, and maybe some British commandos or something, a team of people to go get her and rescue her and the other folks that are there. Well, there's about 3 of them. Okay. Why can't we do that? And then tell Putin when we're done. That's what I would do if it was me. But that hasn't been done. No, we're going to release a guy who has caused terror all over this country to bring Brittany Griner home. Now, first of all, some of these people knew what was going on over at these countries. Why would you even go over there? That's the first thing. You'll never catch me alive or dead in Russia. Okay? Or anywhere else for this matter. And I know what you're saying, Ralph. You don't want to explore the world. No, I don't. I don't want to explore the world. I don't trust nobody in these other countries. I don't. I'm not going to get robbed. I'm not going to get assaulted. I just don't want to go there to any other country right now, because I don't think it's worth cruises. Breaking down in the middle of the ocean. Staff don't speak English. No, I don't want to go on a cruise. Okay? It's the way I see it tonight. Thank you for watching tonight. Tonight's show was dedicated to Aiden Lombardi. Poor kid. He's up there with the Lord now. But I dedicated my show tonight to him. Just a few announcements. Tomorrow night, 8 p.m., Tuesday night, every Tuesday, 8 p.m., right here on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. Sports Corner tomorrow night. My guest will be Claudio Rosano, the fallout from the Steeler loss, the Pitt win. I want to talk about that as well, and a whole lot more coming up tomorrow night. Wednesday, 7 p.m., YouTube, Facebook, Twitch. Talking wrestling with myself and Smoking Jim Frazier right here, live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. That's Wednesday night. Thursday night, Blog Talk Radio, Wrestle Talk, myself, Smoking Jim Frazier, Mark Mancini, 8 p.m. start time, 347-205-9631 is the number to listen to the show, Wrestle Talk. Best wrestling talk in Pittsburgh is with me. I'm the king. I'm the man, okay, in Pittsburgh. I'm the one that's bringing you the wrestling stuff you need to talk about. All right. Saturday, 5 p.m. Sports Corner, PCTV Channel 21 Comcast, 47 Verizon Cable, and also on Roku, Apple TV, and Fire Stick as well. Also, PCTV's Facebook page. You can check out all my archive versions of The Way I See It and Sports Corner. All right, September 29th, 6 p.m. live call-in show, 412-231-2288 Sports Corner with me and Smoking Jim Frazier. Before that, on PCTV's Facebook page, The Way I See It, my guest will be K-Bay, who is the youth coordinator and community coordinator for PCTV. She's going to talk about how she's got this new youth broadcast going on and some other entities that she's involved in. Will be my special guest September 29th. Facebook, PCTV's Facebook page. My guest will be K-Bay. By the way, I want to say that October 3rd show of The Way I See It will be bumped up to 8 p.m. I have a prior obligation and won't be able to do the show till 8 p.m. October 3rd, 8 p.m. On YouTube, Facebook, and now Twitch, and we're working on Twitter. Oh, more platforms for me to broadcast on. I love it. And so will you. The Way I See It, we're here every Monday night at 7, except for October 3rd, 8 p.m. Have a great night. Thank you, and be safe.